But yeah, okay, so on today's episode, we're gonna start with Ridge Taylor. Nick Nick tried his hardest. Look, even his face showed that he was uncertain excuse me, that he wasn't sure what Ridge was gonna say. He looked worried. He looked worried. I said, even though Ridge took the ring from her and put it on her finger, I said I'm still not convinced. I'm still not convinced. Now I might be wrong, but I don't think so. I might be wrong, but I was like, he don't look happy about it. I was like, he gave her this speech to us on how it's so much easier with her, and he love her, and he's so in love with her, and how it should have been on her finger the entire time. And then he puts the ring on her finger, and she just sitting up there just happy, smiling and stuff. And he just sitting up there look like he look like, oh no, I done messed up. How did I do this? He look like he got caught up in a situation. He done took it so far that he don't know how to get out. That's what I think. But yeah, on today's episode, like I said, we're gonna start with Ridge Taylor Nick. She's still proposing to him, asking him to marry her and stuff like that, and he don't answer her. So she keep on talking and expressing how she feels and saying, talking about the love that they share or whatever. And at first he was smiling. Now at the beginning of the episode when she proposed, he was smiling. I said, wait a minute now. I said, oh, he's smiling or whatever. And Nick was over there smiling too. He was glad to hear that. He was glad to hear her propose. Hold on. He was glad to hear her propose, y'all. What else? What else? What happened? Let me see. Let me see. Taylor ends up expressing how she feels about Ridge. Doesn't want to wait or whatever. She just saying how she wants him to be her husband. She wants to be his wife. They belong together and stuff like this. And just talking about what they've overcome or whatever. Just steady expressing how she feels. He's just sitting up there. Then, what he said, let me see. Let me make sure. What did he say? He ends up, I think Taylor ends up saying how she wants to reunite their family, and he starts talking about something. We already committed to each other. We living together. I said, Taylor, wake up. Wake up now. Wake up. Did you hear him? That ain't an answer. That is not an answer. You asked him, he's supposed to say, yeah, of course I marry you, but I'm supposed to be the one to put the ring on your finger. Something. This man told me, so we already committed. We already living together. What are you doing or whatever? And then he started talking about how he's shocked or whatever, and he caught off guard. But she just kept talking about how she feels about him or whatever. And she pulls out this box and she said something about it was the ring he gave her or something, just saying how he put it on her finger and stuff like that. So then he takes the ring. He's saying how, what did he say? How it's so much easier with her and stuff like that. And how that ring should have been on her finger. It should have never got off or whatever. So he takes it out of her hand. He puts it on her finger. And she's just happy and smiling. And I said, I can't be happy for you, Taylor. I can't be happy for you, girl. Because then did y'all see him? I know if you seen the episode, you know exactly the moment I was talking about. I said, he looked worried. He looked like, oh man, what I did now? What I done did? I done took it too far. I done took it too far. But yeah, she's just so happy. Now, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. They say this week, though, they do say that he's supposed to go to Brooke and tell her or whatever. And then they already show how they going to be out of town or they going to be somewhere. It's going to be Brooke, Nick, Ridge. I don't know if Taylor going to be there or not. But Ridge going to be trying to talk to Brooke or whatever. And Nick going to come get his lady. And then she going to leave. And he just going to be standing up there looking. He just gonna be standing up there looking disappointed. That's what you get. That's exactly what you get. But yeah, like I said, Ridge ends up saying the ring should have been on Taylor's finger the entire time. And that's when he puts it on her finger, but he don't look happy. He did not look happy. What else? Let's see. Brooke and Katie still talking about the same thing. Katie trying to talk some sense into her and saying how, he's with Taylor now. And the fact that she was able to convince him to marry her before, so, it could happen again. But Brooke just keep on saying how she hopes that Ridge doesn't do anything to impact their lives forever. She hopes he don't do nothing rash or whatever. And Katie said, what you saying that you must know deep down that he's going to be with Taylor. And she just kept talking about, how they always find their way back to each other. Brooke was saying how she doesn't understand why Taylor could settle for being the rebound. I mean, technically, she right. Technically, she right. And something else she said. I think when Katie was saying how Ridge sticks to his commitments and stuff like that, and Brooke was like, he was committed to me or whatever. And she was like, well, now he's committed to Taylor. I said, true that, true that. Because he did. How he stick to his commitment? He just ran off. They just had a conversation some years ago about how they was not going to let. I think it was after the CPS call, wasn't it? When he was saying how he had ran to Taylor before, and Thomas was the one behind the CPS call. He was like, we got to make an agreement not to let our kids come in between us no more. And how they was gonna communicate with each other and stuff like that. As soon as he found out she took that CEO position, he ran off. He ran off or whatever. But yeah, I'm disappointed about how they did this, because he should be begging her back, not her over here taking out rings and stuff. I was like, Taylor, no. What else happened? Hold on. Let me make sure I cover everything. Like I said, Rick was just talking about how she don't understand how Taylor could settle for being the rebound or whatever. And that's when Katie was just steady trying to tell her, maybe it's time to accept that Ridge has moved on and let it go. And I said, yep, when she find out, because Nick's supposed to tell her on tomorrow's episode that Taylor pulled out a ring and proposed. And she going to be saying, what did he say? Or whatever. He said, yeah. He took the ring out of her finger and accepted. No, I said that wrong. He took the ring out of her hand and put it on her finger. But yeah, I was like, look, Taylor pulled out all the stops. She said, I'm going to get him one way or another. I said, that don't make no difference anyway. Because even if they got married for real, if he still want Brooke, all you got to do is go over there and get her. And she going to go. She going to go. Thinking like, oh, well, now he's engaged or married. Nobody's going to do nothing crazy to interfere. They always do. They definitely do. Hold on. I said, well, Stephanie going to be happy about this. Luna and Sheila. So Luna was just excited, and she was saying to Sheila how she knew it was a matter of time before we'll realize who Electra was or whatever, and that they would break up, and she knew he wanted her. And Sheila like, you don't think it's weird? You don't think it's odd that he changed his mind so fast? And before she left, she ends up telling her to be careful. When they cut back to Luna, she got the weapon in her hand, and I don't know what it's called. What it's called, y'all? She was pulling back the I don't know the right turn for it, but she was like getting it ready or whatever. I was like, is she gonna shoot this man? Because they said that once she realizes what he's up to, she's supposed to do something. Then she's supposed to be on the run, I think, on Friday's episode. And what else? It was something else I was gonna say. I know they said she's supposed to be on the run, I think, on Friday's episode. So she's supposed to do, I'm assuming she's supposed to do something to what's his name, Will, but we'll see. It was something else I was gonna say about that. What is it? Oh, they had already showed them kissing or whatever, and she keep trying to get him to sleep with her, because she been trying that for the longest. I said, he got the wire on. I don't know, she gonna see the camera, the lipstick camera, or either she gonna feel the wire when she get the touching on him and stuff. I said, they should have thought this through. They knew this wasn't gonna work. They knew it wasn't gonna work. Now I take that back, because if she does something on camera, now she could find the wire, but that don't mean that she see the camera. Now if she do something to Will, they could get her for that. They could definitely get her for that. But yeah, like I said, Sheila was trying to warn her before she left. She tells her to be careful. Will, Electra, Steffi, Fee, and Baker, they end up getting the warrant for the wire. They put it on him, and they telling him, are you sure? Because this is dangerous. Luna could do anything or whatever. He's like, his daddy the one, Bill's the one that got them in that situation, so he's going to correct it and get them out. Excuse me. How he's going to correct it and get them out or whatever. What else? What else did they say? Yeah, Stephen Fee was just talking to him, trying to make sure he want to do this. He ends up making it. They got a lipstick camera. He says it when he gets there, so they start talking and stuff. He started bringing up how she's alone now, and she don't have anybody, just so he could mention Steffi, because he has to get her to admit that she planning to do something to Steffi or whatever. So she did. She started getting angry when he mentioned Steffi and the fact that she couldn't see her daddy because of Steffi, and she started getting upset. But she controlled herself. She started talking about how she don't want to talk about Steffi or whatever. If you want me, come get. What she said? Basically, if you want me, come get me or whatever. And she just got real close to him. Electra looking like she worried because they watching him and her or whatever. But I was like, regardless, if she, as long as she don't find that lipstick camera and she do something to him, they could get her. They could get her because they said she's supposed to do something. I'm assuming to him, but we'll see. And I said that'll be Bill's fault. It's his fault. Partially his fault anyways, because he sat up here and got her out. Now he ain't nowhere to be found. But yeah, what else? We already talked about Will and Luna when he got there. Like I said, she had the weapon. She put it in the drawer or whatever. She preparing. It looked like she was preparing it. Excuse me. So I don't know if she gonna shoot him or whatever. But yeah, I think the ending scene with them was she was trying to convince him to go on, take it to the next step or whatever. And then it went off, y'all. That was it. Y'all. They saving it for a cliffhanger, I'm assuming, or either Monday's episode, because we supposed to be, I think now don't that mean we 2 episodes behind? Because we was already 1 episode behind. So we might not even see Friday's episode this week, y'all. But yeah, that's it. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.